What's a relatively unknown technological invention that will have a huge impact on the future? Any kind of advance in batteries and the ability to store electrical energy. A huge portion of electronic devices are only limited in scope because of how much battery power it would require, and that's a field which has become largely stagnant. There are a few promising things out there but nothing actively in development, but such an advance in technology would unlock the potential of technology that already exists, but is currently impractical. Edit. I'm not just talking about smartphones, but any device that runs on a battery, particularly electric cars. Edit. Hey folks, thanks for all the replies. Definitely learning a ton about the subject. Not going to summarize it here, but look at the comments below to learn more, because there's great info there. Also, as many have said, significant applications to renewable energy too. That's a field which has become largely stagnant. I don't think that statement is accurate. There's a lot of development right now to support electric cars, which can be translated over to stationary storage a lot easier than the other way around. There's teams working on graphene/graphite based solid state batteries. The guy who invented lithium-ion batteries just received a patent for a new type of battery using glass and sodium. Tesla has been hinting at a new battery tech. Arguably, the battery market is more active now than it has been in a long time. Don't forget making electronics more power efficient as well. It's a two-lane street. The problem I think stems from PCs being plugged in, and most mobile development still being in the mindset of PC developers. They get a more powerful device, and instead of building on the efficient code they had to make for the last one, they just build a bloated lazy app for the new one, because it can power through the laziness. In other words, if more developers would code, like they did for the first smartphones, our effing batteries would already be lasting all damn day. Batteries containing nuclear waste encases in synthetic diamond supposedly can go thousands of years without charge, and are perfectly safe. Currently being trialed in the UK. Better voltaics. Fear more of energy harvesters than batteries, but being able to last hundreds of years is really cool for some things. They don't put out much power ATM though, so they're pretty niche. The invention of hypersonic missiles is starting an arms race not seen since the Cold War, and nobody seems to care. I'm assuming the benefit here is that these missiles can bypass current missile defense systems. Precisely, that, and they have basically infinite range. If it helps, there is tech being developed to counter that. Before he died, my dad was working on offshore missile interception with Raytheon to defend against these. I think that's because the same rules of MAD applies. If you use those you get nuked. There's no casual hypersonic missile war the same way there's no casual nuclear war. So it's a solved problem, as much as MAD is a solution. I'm surprised no one has said it yet, but automation is getting incredibly sophisticated. There will be no need for a lot of people to work in factories. I went to an assembly expo and the manufacturing technology of today is mind-blowing. Some jobs you still need humans, but even then, many of those jobs are getting foolproof to the point that previous jobs that required skills will be able to be replaced by cheaper labor with lesser skill. I think it's ultimately a good thing, but Hoss knows how long it will be before society catches up to technology. This is definitely gonna change our society in a profound way in the next decades, and will challenge capitalism in a lot of ways. It will not only replace factory jobs, but plenty of other jobs. We'll have to think what to do with all the people who won't have a job, because machines will be able to do certain jobs better and cheaper than any human ever could. This could be a huge opportunity for society if handled correctly, or could be the biggest problem we have ever faced. Car manufacturer started installing this device in your car that will indicate when you plan on turning or changing lanes. It's called a turn signal, but most drivers who know about it refer to it as a blinker. Not many people have picked up on it yet, but when it goes mainstream, it will make driving so much simpler. While not an unknown technology, deepfake is still in its infancy, and it terrifies me. We already live in a time when people take irrefutable video evidence and somehow find ways to rationalize away what they are seeing. People don't listen to science anymore. Truth has become frighteningly subjective. Think of all the videos of police shootings / political scandals / whistleblowers / assassinations / and more. Now, add in a technology that has the potential to create doubt about the validity of what we are seeing. It's the perfect excuse, and all people will need, to kill that last little bit of logical thought deep in their brain. It is a perfect tool to create chaos and discord. Politicians will use it to create confusion and doubt, to sow fear, create false narrative and delegitimize their opponents, or to cast doubt on crimes and acts they have committed. Something that was once impossible to rationalize away will become yet another misinformation cylinder engine to sow doubt. I feel like SpaceX being able to reuse rockets doesn't get enough attention. Costs for getting stuff into space will go down, meaning more possible space stations or even building a megastructure one day. Edit, you guys need to think outside of your edit sphere. I'd wager to say most people have no idea that this achievement has even happened. Energy storing smart bricks. www.google.com web link that could one day turn the walls of our houses into batteries. That's really cool, especially how it changes the bricks blue. I can see the ad campaign now. Blue brick batteries. What's in your walls? Just because you're not a millionaire, it doesn't mean you can't hide jewels in your house. 3D printing at home. Imagine downloading the blueprints of whatever you need, customize it and have it printed overnight and into your hands. What is now a hobby will soon be a common household tool. Star Trek replicators, here we come. Realistically, the use of carbon grids to reproduce the catalytic effects of rhodium metal, commonly used in catalytic converters. Rhodium metal is currently trading at $13,000/Oz. www.platinum.matfi.com web link, after a huge spike due to worldwide emissions restrictions that took effect in 2020. Long story short, there is only 2 places on Earth to effectively find the stuff, and it is going to run out well before fossil fuels and other important building materials do. Replacing rhodium with carbon in catalytic purposes would save global manufacturers hundreds of billions a year and make many consumer goods much more affordable. Edit, in theory with the affordable part. Low pressure solar powered drip irrigation systems. Some more information from MIT. dear.mid.edu web link. Drip irrigation delivers water through a piping network to drip emitters that release the water directly at the base of the crops, avoiding water losses due to evaporation, runoff, and infiltration. Drip can reduce water consumption by 20-60% compared to conventional flood irrigation, and has been shown to increase yields by 20-50% for certain crops. Because irrigation accounts for over 70% of fresh water use in most regions of the world, large-scale adoption of drip irrigation would reduce the consumption of fresh water and be an asset for locations around the world experiencing water shortages and groundwater depletion. As a fan of anything efficient, I'm spinning. Long-distance wireless electricity transport. Space solar panels, here we come. See Dyson swarms with maser power transmitters. Technically possible with existing technology too. Carrot, you only have to consume like all of Mercury for the resources required. Research into bacteriophages, bacteria targeting viruses, could cure antibiotic-resistant bacterium such as MRSA. TBH, I was actually waiting for someone to say this. This can be revolutionary, since it allows specific targeting. Printed human skin and organs. There are still some decent hurdles to overcome for macro-scale application of 3D printing biologicals, but yeah, this will be a super good one in the future. I'd have to go with fusion power. It definitely exists and is possible, but is still in the research phase, and always remains slightly out of reach. But ITER is being built in France, which should be able to produce a 10-fold increase in energy output over input. Additionally, new discoveries are being made all the time in how fusion devices could be miniaturized. Imagine near limitless clean energy and fossil fuels becoming redundant. Wireless EKG machines. As an epileptic, I'd be pretty into a wireless EEG too. As an epileptic, I'd love to see more accessible self-driving cars. Specifically, one that can take over and safely park and call 911 if it detects the driver having a seizure or other loss of consciousness. I would think wireless EEG technology could play a huge part of that. BCI brain-computer interface have been used to control games with your mind, speak to another person telepathically, and make prosthetic limbs be controlled easier. CBI computer-brain interface have been used to make a blind person regain their sight through camera glasses, and make monkeys feel things in VR that weren't there. If we perfect both of these, we could do a lot.
Bye.